Not think before they walk, but for him and the people with other disabilities, they always have to look both ways before they cross. Behind you, ties up your hands and puts duct tape all over your mouth so that you can't even call for help. Well, guess what? These watermelon are the most at risk in these hot temperatures, but these locally grown sweet potatoes are the most resilient. Using this website is simple. All you have to do is type in rentafriend.com, then type in your zip code. That'll bring up profiles of friends near you. And before you know it, you've found a new friend. The victim came from all the way back here at this trailer, came across the street, and all the way to this mobile home right here. In the first 2 weeks of season, Emerald Isle Beach Patrol says they rescued 43 people out of the water. Take a look at these charred remains right here in this community icon of a neighborhood in Pamlico County. It's from a lightning strike that happened last night, and now this community is still coming together to rebuild.
It'll be rebuilt, and we'll move on as a community.
This is what the house looked like when it was featured in Coastal Living magazine 3 years ago.
It was a beautiful house. It was a showpiece. It was really decorated magnificently. It had a lot of ornate woodwork in it.
And now, the vacant house just minutes after lightning strikes. Nearby windows shattered, pieces of charred wood smoldering, and behind it all, Riverdun residents remain strong.
I mean, the place is fully involved. There was fire coming from every hole I could see in the building. I mean, it was just a big ball of fire.
This act of Mother Nature miraculously only damaged that one and only house, a house that was just a vacation home. Luckily, the owners weren't there.
I met one of the firefighters last night who had spent a lot of time working volunteer, but he spent a lot of time as one of the craftsmen in there. And you could just see, we stepped aside and kind of smiled and said, we'll have another shot at it. We'll bring her back up.
And while an icon to this family has been lost, it's left an even stronger community behind. Kyle Walker, Eyewitness News 9 on your side. Vicki Powell is mourning minutes after she's learned that her home that she and her husband have lived in for the past 12 years has been nearly destroyed by straight-line winds.
When I opened up the door, I went to my knees because I could not believe that that's what happened.
I just saw what was how the place looked. It was like my heart just fell.
They're lucky to be alive and to have family and friends here to comfort them both, but their faith is strong enough to carry them through.
Here I am homeless right now, but God gonna make sure that I don't be homeless too much long, because I still can't believe this right here happened to me.
The Powell family is just glad,
and God gonna show me what He can do in return,
that they're safe.
All that's in there is material stuff. It can't be replaced. I just thank God that we weren't here.
In Lenoir County, Kyle Walker, Eyewitness News 9 on your side.
Very refreshing.
The taste is sweet.
Local as you can get it.
Almost like a mix between a pear and a cantaloupe. The majority of Sprite melons are grown right here in Eastern Carolina.
It originally comes from someplace in the Pacific Rim. Could be Japan, could be Korea, we're not quite sure of.
A lot of places can't grow them like we can.
Farmers in this region do grow this tasty fruit and then ship it all across the country. With limited supply, they're not always as easily available in stores as the other popular produce. But when these melons are in stock, they really are worth a try.
Once you eat a Sprite, you'll want a Sprite.
So at this point, you've probably eaten some good cantaloupe and picked out a nice ripe watermelon. If you go to the store and you look for a Sprite melon, you need to know that if you look around the base, the more lines, the sweeter the taste. And these tasty treats contain about 15% of natural sugar, making them significantly sweeter than other types of melon. And that sweetness also weighs into our local economy.
With this, it's a brand new market, so it's bringing in new monies. So that's one of the advantages of it.
When people all over the country buy this fruit, most of the money comes right back here to the east.
Once they know what it is and try it, I think that's the key to it. You've got to try it.
So next time you're grocery shopping, be sure to treat yourself to something.
You can cut it, eat it at one time, one person.
Something a little sweeter. In Lenoir County, Kyle Walker, Eyewitness News 9 on your side. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kyle Walker. Thanks so much for joining us. We begin with a developing story in Craven County. Well, when you cross a horse and a donkey, you get a mule. But what happens when you cross a zebra and a donkey? You get what's called a Z-donk, and one is getting a lot of attention in Georgia. Onslow County Police say they've made 2 arrests in a connection to a shooting that injured a retired police chief while he was cutting his grass. The suspects are two teenagers, 18-year-old Justin Acker of Jacksonville and an unnamed juvenile. Acker is charged with assault with a deadly weapon and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. He's now behind bars under a $100,000 bond. Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Walker with your ECU update. Thanks a lot for joining us. ECU police and fire officials light up a dorm room on the ECU Mall for Pirate Safety Day. All right, now is this a show based on more like highlights of each play, or is it just kind of an overview of the entire game?
It's sort of both, actually.